What's up everybody, it's Andrew from Trail Runner Customs, and today we're going to be going over how to install your TRD Pro Grill on your 2003 to 2006 Toyota Tundra. Before we get into this installation video, I want to give a huge shout out to Brett Carter. He was the one we partnered with when getting all this footage for the 03-06 Tundra installation, so check out his Instagram below. Alright, so to start off, we're going to talk about how to assemble the product. Now this is a pretty straightforward thing to do. All you really have to do is take your Toyota emblem, flip it over, and then drop it right into the pre-cut notches and make sure the screw holes line up with the holes in the grill. And then that's pretty much it. Then you just take your smaller plastic silver screws and you just screw them in. Try not to over tighten them, just make it so it's snug enough so it doesn't wiggle, and you should be good. Right here we have a shot of exactly where the 4 silver screws are screwed in, and this is what it should look like if it's fastened properly. So yeah, once you have the Toyota insert screwed into the back of the grill, you are ready to start the installation process on your vehicle. Alright, so the first step of the process is to remove the OEM factory grill, and you want to start by popping your hood and locating the hood latch. From there you want to grab your 10mm socket and go ahead and remove the hood latch from the hood. Just a reminder, you're going to want to save the hood latch and hood latch bolt for the installation of the new grill. For the next step, you're going to want to locate and remove the 6 bolts that hold the OEM grill onto the hood itself. So there are 3 on each side as shown in the video, and you're going to want to take your 10mm socket and unscrew those. You also want to hold on to the nuts that you take off of the OEM grill because you will also use those for later. After that, you're going to be able to take off the grill. All you got to do is just pull it straight back and the screws will slide out of the holes on the hood. Okay, so now that you have the OEM grill off, the next step in the process is to remove this long metal bar that goes along the bottom. It's held in by 5 Phillips head screws, so all you have to do is unscrew those and just pull the bracket right off. As you can see in the video, we just quickly take those 5 Phillips head screws right out, and once those are out, you can just lift the bar straight up out of the OEM grill. Again, just a reminder, you're going to want to save those Phillips head screws for later. So at this point, we are going to get ready to prep the new grill for installation. Now, one thing to note, the bolts that are on the OEM grill, as you can see in the video, these are the original bolts that come with the Tundra. Now, some people prefer to use the original hardware on their new grill. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're one of those people that likes keeping original hardware, then by all means go for it. But there are new screws included with the grill. You're more than welcome to use either one of the sets of screws, but it's all really up to preference. And just a heads up, if you decide to use the OEM screws that come in the regular grill, it is going to be a little bit hard to get those out of there because they have been in there for such a long time. It's now time to grab your 6 square head bolts and put them in the new bolt slots on the TRD Pro grill. There should be 4 across the top and 2 on the sides. So all you need to do to put the square head bolts in their place is just push them in the slot and they should snap right into place. It's now time to reinstall the metal bar from the original grill. All you have to do is just line up the holes in the bar with the screw holes in the new grill, and then use the Phillips head screwdriver to tighten the bar up into the grill. So as you're tightening the screws, you want to make sure that you do not over tighten them because it could potentially break the plastic backing for the screws or poke through on the front side of the grill. So at this point in the installation, you should have the OEM metal bar screwed into the new grill, and you should also have all of these square head bolts in these slots, and then once you do that, you can move on to putting the grill itself on the hood. It is now time to put the new grill on the hood of your truck. Now when you're putting this on there, you want to make sure that all of the bolts go into the holes on the hood. That way everything lines up and fits correctly. This is just a little clip of what the bolts should look like when they fit into the holes on the hood. And once this looks correct, you now can move into tightening the bolts up with the nuts you took off of the OEM grill and your 10mm socket wrench. So if you are a 2003 to 2006 Tundra Access Cab owner, the next step for you is going to possibly require a little bit of trimming on the bottom legs of the grill. For the Access Cab, the fitment is just a tiny bit different, and depending on what bumper you have running on your truck, you might have to cut the legs a tiny bit at the bottom in order for it to fit flush on the fitment of the hood. Now, If you own a Tundra that is not an access cab, then you can just disregard the cutting and you are completely finished with the installation of the grille. So for the access cab trimming, here you can see Brett marking off a very, very small measurement on the bottom just so it fits precisely when the hood is closed. He just grabs his circular angle saw and he cuts on his line. Then he takes it and inspects the cut, makes sure everything fits well. Here's a close-up on the cut. As you can see, it's nothing crazy. It's just a straight cut across the bottom to kind of take some length off of the grille itself. And here's him checking out, making sure it fits exactly, and then there's the finished product. Yeah, so overall the installation was pretty quick and simple. As you can see, the new grille definitely transforms the look of the Tundra and gives it that more updated and new look.
We are all done. Thanks for bearing with me while we figured out where we need to trim. Obviously the aftermarket bumper, the winch controller wasn't making it the easiest, but we got it done. Yeah, so here it is. Here's a look at your 2003, I think through 2006 TRD Pro Lookalike Grill from Trail Runner Customs. Super clean lines. Very nice.
Are you finally ready to make your Toyota stand out? Elevating the style of your vehicle does not have to be difficult. Check out Trail Runner Customs with the link in the description today.